Right, good evening, Fabio.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing? Thank you
You
for
alright?
joining us. Thanks for joining us on a Thursday evening this evening. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not too bad. Just getting over the weekend. It's all good.
Good, good. You had a bit of a busy one.
Yeah, I went to 2 players at Fabric, and I went to Nottingham, Get an 8, and going something else. I can't remember what it is. It's blur now. I'm getting old, babe.
Oh yeah, you're not old, but you've got a busy diary. Anyway, thank you for joining us this evening. It's no rest for the wicked on Thursday nights Aftershock Radio. Got a ton of questions to be flying through with you this evening. But first of all, obviously introducing yourself from Radio 1. Can you just give us a bit of a background of how it all started for you? You know, we're aspiring DJs and we all look to you, and how it started for you back in the day.
Yeah, well, I'm Fabio. Been around a little while. It started. We all start off in the same place, You start off like going to record shops and not being able to get the record. I was there. People could get.
You started in your bedroom? I mean, did you start in your bedroom?
No. When I started out, it was a long time ago. It was like in the 80s. And it was like, I didn't even want to be a DJ. I wanted to be a singer. It was all about, when I started out, there weren't no DJs. DJ was someone who played at the local club. There weren't.
Yeah.
No one went to see DJs. It weren't like that at all. When I used to go out, I never used to know who the DJ was. He was just someone who played music and he went and danced. And, it wasn't about the DJ. So I wanted just to be in the entertainment business. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to do stuff like that, and then that didn't work out. And DJing was like a couple of my mates were DJing and stuff, and then like a pirate station, a friend of mine, a mutual friend, he was going to be on a pirate station. A guy called Colin Bell, who's a big techno DJ now, and he was meant to be on the pirate station that was starting up in South London, and then he went to Kiss FM, because Kiss FM was starting up their pirate station, and he was like, look, Kiss FM's a bigger hit for me. Would you be up for doing like radio and sitting in my slot? And I really didn't really want to be a DJ, and I was kind of like, yeah, all right, cool, but it was nothing I really wanted to do. And then I just went along and done my first show, and I loved it. I just found my niche, and I really enjoyed playing music and getting feedback, and being on early pirate radio was great, so it was all by luck.
Yeah. We were talking to Frost last week. We were doing an interview with him, and he was talking about how he's got, when he first started DJing, the mixers didn't even have crossfaders. So,
No, listen. When we first started DJing, I know it's like, it all sounds like, oh yeah, when back in the day, but when we were first DJing, you didn't even have belt drive then, so you couldn't mix. You listen, seriously, when we used to do parties, you DJ'd on one deck. You'd have to DJ, put a track on, and then you'd have to say, yeah, that was blah, blah, blah. So you was like a radio DJ. You weren't mixing. None of that was going on. When the first parties we went to, like in maybe the late 70s, early 80s, when you started the track, it used to go, the belt drive. So it weren't even like, sometimes the elastic used to snap off because it used to be held together with elastic, and the belt used to go round, and you used to have to fix it up, and that's how it started, man. So mixers, I didn't even know what a mixer was. You used to just have an amplifier, plug the deck into the amp, have a microphone, and announce the track, and that's what you used to do. And then mixing came in, and when we used to do pirate radio, we had belt drives. There was no mixing going on. Hell no. Pitch control, we didn't even know what that was. You know what I mean? That was just not even... That was just like science. That was like voodoo, like pitch control. We was like, what the hell was that? But, at the same time, we was getting stuff coming in from America, like from Kiss FM in America, and the DJs used to mix.
Yeah.
And we was like astounded by mixing. And we was just like, I can't believe what this is. This is amazing. And then we used to have 2 tape decks, and we used to try and mix on 2 tape decks and stuff like that. So anyway,
well, you've mastered it now, like you are, you're mixing everything, you're EQing, you've got a good set of ears on you, and everything you do is pretty seamless. So probably like with all the belt drives, trying to mix with belt drives, that's probably where your mixing is so seamless from just, it's hard work.
No, but it's like, for sure, it's like anything, you start off from the basics, and that gives you, like, not an insight, it just makes you, like, more you know, when
determined.
something comes along, you're up for it because it's been such hard work. That, you know, pitch control and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't a natural at mixing, you know, it took me a long time, you know, you get guys like Andy C and, you know, he's naturally gifted, and Marky and people like that, they naturally, I don't think it took them a long time to learn, you know what I'm saying? You know, and then...
Did it take... Because I've been DJing 10 years, and honestly, I used to clang it right up when I first started.
Oh, what?
But, I mean,
Brilliant.
I would say only in the last couple of years I've just been starting to mix properly. So would you say the same kind of applies to you, or...?
Well, I can't even listen to mixtapes from the 90s. I can't listen to it.
Is it cringe?
I'm clanging up the place, and, you know, people go, oh, yeah, he's wicked, and I listen to it, and I think that's awful. And, you know what I mean? That's terrible. How are you sitting down thinking that sounds good? That is awful. Technically, don't get me wrong, musically, of course, you know, I don't think people were that, you know, everyone weren't DJs as well in the 90s, you know, that, you know, they weren't as critical as they are now. Now, everyone's a budding DJ, and you go out there and people, you know, are a lot more critical because of forums and stuff like that. So, you know, you didn't really have that, and that's why you could clang and get away with it. Everyone used to clang. Carl Cox used to clang up the place, man, you know what I'm saying? And it was, and plus as well, you got to remember the beats in the 90s, they weren't as tight as they are now, you know? They were all over the place when you listen to early jungle. The beats were just like...
Hard work.
You had 4 breaks. All going at the different speeds, you know, and you know, now it's so easy to mix.
Tish,
like,
boom tish.
If you can't mix, you really got issues. You've got issues because you've got a pitch control. You know, if you mix CDs, you've got beat counters. You know, you can't really go wrong. You know, and if you can't really mix now, you know, you shouldn't really be doing it.
We all look at you as a DJ, so you know it's comforting to hear that you're there and you're still experiencing that. But obviously, there's a lot of things in the drum and bass scene. Obviously, you've got the producers who aren't necessarily DJs, and then you've got like the DJs who know all about the producers. So, I mean, I'm a massive fan of actual DJs because I just think that there's like a quality control there. A DJ won't always play like a whole label's worth of stuff or just their own stuff. They'll play what they level, you know, what the crowd's feeling as a thing. So do you have the same kind of views on that, or do you think like DJs have a place or not really? It's about the producers?
Well, look. What you've got to remember, look, the reason why that is, it's unfortunate, but times have changed, you know. You know, in the 90s, you could sell 8,000 copies of a record, like, and it's not even a big seller. That's not even the number one tune.
Yeah.
You know, now producers, you know, it's a vicious circle because they have to make money, and the only way they can really make money nowadays is by DJing. At the same time, I understand where you're coming from because you know, I hate harking back to the old days, but going back to when I started, everyone was, you know, there weren't no produced DJs. You had to be a DJ. You had to know what you were doing and be a good selector.
Yeah. You know, like a lot of people respect. I mean, when I've been growing up with drum and bass and looking at DJs, the old school, you know, veterans of the scene are the people who are the most respected. You know, the new school lot come through. They might be good at what they're doing, but they haven't necessarily. To me, I can't see that they've got that respect that's there. I think like knowledge is wisdom and all that. So I think that's why I think the DJs sometimes who have been around a long time kind of know what's going on a bit more.
You know, I think the thing is with not all producer DJs, you know, I don't want to generalise because there are some out there that are very good, but there are some that I've heard and they're just a joke, and they are, you know, blocking other DJs from coming through because they've got a big tune and you know, everyone starts booking them. And, you know, for guys starting out or guys struggling, it's hard, but then, you know, the nature of the game's changed, you know. It's unfortunately the whole DJ, everyone wants to be a DJ, and you know, it's so crowded now, like it's so hard to really get through. You know, even in my day you could get through on not even being that technically gifted as a DJ, you know. You know, a lot of us weren't, you know, a lot of us weren't great mixers, but
it's tune selection as well, isn't it? I mean, you could be a technically wicked DJ, but you could be playing
the most important thing. You know, it is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you're blessed with being gifted as a selector and being gifted technically, that's brilliant. But you know, I don't think you can do it by mixing alone, because you go into a club and you got to make people dance.
Yeah.
You know, that's the number one thing,
Yeah.
right? You know, making people dance. And I know DJs that maybe aren't the greatest mixers in the world, but they can rock a dance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You bring them to any dance and they'll smash it.
Cheese
because
selection.
they know.
Yeah.
Well, they know it's timing. You know when to play big tunes. You know when not to play big tunes. I see a lot of DJs when I know a DJ's not experienced when they go out and play all their big tunes first, and then they've got nothing, and you see them panicking. And I usually let them stay on a little longer because I like seeing them sweat. It's like, yo, you need to learn the trade. You know, you don't just play out all your big tunes and then you're looking around clock watching. That's not what it's about. You know, it's about building a journey and building a vibe.
Yeah.
I know a lot of DJs that don't want to play longer than an hour. It's like, what's that all about? What do you mean an hour? You know, I can play 4 or 5 hours and I don't think that's enough, you know?
Yeah. You got to have stamina to do that. Because, I mean, I'm knackered after 2 hours, seriously. You got to have some stamina.
That way, man.
Come on, you got to have some stamina to do 4-hour sets. You know, that's good going, seriously.
No, I don't know. But look, when you DJ, look, I've been ill and DJed, and I've gone on the decks and I've been fine.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I got off the deck, I'm in again.
Yeah.
Because I just go into a zone, and when I'm on that zone, I can be there in that place forever.
Yeah.
You know, look, there's a DJ that I booked, and I'm not going to blow him up. I'm not going to say who he is, right?
Okay.
And he was having a quiet night at the club that I do. Swerve was having a quiet night, and I got a call that the middle DJ's freaking out because it's quiet. And I got there and it was quiet, and I saw him and he was kind of like, I want to go home.
What?
So I said, look, I was like, look, I'll play your last tune and I'll come straight on, right? I came straight on, he just left. He didn't really say good. I was like, look, go home if you're tired. And look, there was about 50 people in there, and for 2 hours I played, and you know, I'm not bigging up myself. I kept everyone there.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you're supposed to be a DJ, right? And you're sitting down there, like you're standing up there DJing, acting like you want to go home, and you know, people pick that vibe up. Do you know what I'm saying? People aren't going to dance when they look at a DJ and he's kind of like got his chin in his hand, and he was literally leaning over the deck, acting like he was falling asleep. That's when you've got to work hardest. That's not you're a good DJ when you can go into an empty dance and still have people come up to you at the end of the night going, I had a good night tonight.
Or at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know?
5 o'clock in the morning, and you get people coming up to you going, I've had a good night, and thanks, you know, and you know, people appreciate when you put that hard work in. So, you know, DJing it's not just turning up, you know, there's so much more to it. It's hard work as well. It's hard work, you know. I know the hours ain't long you actually DJ, but you know, travelling, and I'm getting older now, and the travelling is no, I am getting older, and I do feel the effects. I do feel the effects now in a completely different way. After now, when I get home, I'm smashed. You know what I mean? I get home and I'm like, whoa, I need to go sleep. Before I was buzzing, I want to be DJing all night, and you know what I mean? I was like, you know, in the zone, but now I'm sworn out. I'm just like, whoa, knackered.
I don't think people always realise the driving is actually the most tiring sometimes, because you go to somewhere and you're there for 1 or 2 hours, but the 3 or 4 hour drive to places sometimes, and then 3 or 4 hours back, that's the hardest thing. You know, I think
it's hard because you've got to remember as well. You know, you've got the speed restrictions in the road. You know, there's things you've got to watch out for. You know, you might have bad weather, and you need to be there at a certain time, and it ends up stressing you out. And you know, sometimes you drive. I went to Newquay the other night, and
that's long, you know.
I had a nightmare. Ended up getting a cab down there, man, because my driver broke down. Yeah, it broke down in Exeter, and I ended up spending £200 getting a cab down there. And DJ, and then you got to remember, you travel 285 miles, pay for an hour, and then come home. Yeah. I come home a lot of the time because I'm a homeboy. I like to be in my bed. You know what I'm saying? I like to come home. I don't really like staying in hotels. And so more time I drive like. That's 600 miles in one night. And you get back in like 10 o'clock in the morning and you're disorientated, you know what I mean? You're just driven 600 miles and DJ for an hour, and you come back and you're just like, whoa.
When you're in the car though, you must get sent loads and loads of demos. People sending you tunes all over the world every day. I hate to imagine what your desktop looks like.